The rest of the world has been an ever-present in FIFA games since FIFA 99. However, to my knowledge, FIFA games have never had a playable rest of the world league in career mode. Today, that's going to change. We are booting all Scottish teams out of the SPFL and we are rebranding the league to the rest of the world league. And the rest of the world league will be made up by the 12 best teams in the rest of the world category, including the likes of Olympiacos, Shakhtar Donetsk and Panathinaikos. But as you know, this is a rebuilding channel, so who are we going to rebuild in the rest of the world league? Well, we are going to use a mystery wheel to decide who we actually rebuild in the rest of the world league. In this wheel are the 12 best teams from the rest of the world category going off FC25 ratings. So let's waste no further time, boys. Let's get the wheel spun. Who are we rebuilding today? So the wheel is spinning, lads. Who are we going to be rebuilding in today's video? And it's going to be Dinamo Zagreb. Now, I think Dinamo Zagreb are 3-star rated in FC25. Let's waste no further time, boys. Let's jump into FC25 and get Dinamo Zagreb rebuilt. So Zagreb it is, boys, and the team isn't actually too bad on paper heading into FC25. Bit of a funky formation that will definitely be changing, but on initial inspection, this squad doesn't look too bad. Now, the best player for Dinamo Zagreb is Martin Bacciarina, who is 21 years old and 78 rated. He's also an exciting prospect. We've used him before. He's amazing in FC25. We've also got an amazing central midfielder, Petar Susic, who is 20-year-old and 73 rated, showing great potential. Him and Bacciarina are two players we can definitely build the team around. However, we do have a bit of an issue with this Zagreb squad. Quite a few aging players who aren't really that good as well, to be honest. Squad has got quite a bit of deadwood. Gonna have to move quite a few of these players on as the rebuild progresses. But I am not heading into this rebuild with this formation. There's way too much going on. Let's have a play about with how we want to set up and how we want to play. So we've had a play about with the formation we want to use and the starting personnel, and this is the Zagreb team we've landed on heading into season 1 without any signings. We're going with a 3-2-4-1 formation. We've put a few young players in the starting 11 from the off and put some aging players in the reserves. I want to focus on development. And heading into the first season, I don't think this team is too bad. Now, in season 1, Zagreb only have 8 million euros in the bank. We're probably going to really struggle to improve our team much in the first season, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. We're going to go out into the transfer market and we are going to try and sign a new central midfielder to replace Misic and a new striker to replace Kulinovic. We may have to utilise the loan market in this window. But you're probably wondering, boys, why did I choose the Scottish Premier League as the league to rebrand to the rest of the world league? Well, that's because there's no relegation, which is a really big thing for me. There's also 12 slots up for grabs, meaning we can get plenty of rest of the world teams in this league. And to my understanding, the top 4 get European football in the Scottish Premier League. And given the fact there's only 12 teams in the league, we don't have to perform to our absolute best to get Europe. I don't know if that's classed as cheating or not. Now, while we scour the transfer market for a new central midfielder and striker, we have decided how we want to play with Dinamo Zagreb. I feel like a counter-attacking system is going to work with a 3-4-1-2 formation. Hopefully this is going to take us all the way to a Champions League final. So we've wasted no time in the transfer market, already making 2 new signings, which I think make us much stronger on paper. Let's kick things off with our new striker. We have brought Igor Matanovic in from Frankfurt for 4 million euros. 21 years old, 71 rated, 6'4", and also showing great potential. He's a great young Croatian striker to build our team around. We've also made a very exciting loan signing this time from the Premier League, as Yasin Ayari has joined us on a 2-year loan with an optional future fee of 8 million euros. 20 years old, 72 rated, really tricky central midfielder. He's an upgrade on what we've already got at the club. Now, we have got 2 million euros in the bank and we have got some plans for this money. We are going to be sending our youth scouts off to Croatia in season number 1 and we are going to be looking for wingers and centre backs. Before we even bring anyone into our youth academy, we are sitting on some really good youngsters. Mario Mercado, 65 rated already, 72 to 94 potential. He's going out on loan this season. The same can be said for goalkeeper Ibrahima Diaye, 70 to 94 potential, 62 rated. He needs a loan. Really positive start to our youth intake for this rebuild. So lads, we have been busy selling players off camera. This has enabled me to actually make one final signing of season number 1. We had enough money in the bank to bring a new goalkeeper to the club and we have brought Croatian Dominik Katarski in from PAOK, 10 million euros. He is 76 rated, 24-year-old. He's a huge upgrade on the players we had in the goalkeeping position, because I actually didn't realise how poor them players were, and he will be a very solid goalkeeper for us in the meantime until we can develop our academy wonder kid goalkeeper. Now, in terms of outgoings, as you can see, we've sold 4 first team players, fees, and we have also loaned out 2 of our youngsters. We are in talks to loan out a few more youngsters, which we're going to do off camera, but with no more major sales expected and 5 million sitting in our bank account, second, I'm going to call our transfer window done for season number 1. The Dinamo Zagreb team is locked in for our first ever season in the rest of the World League, and considering the team that we started off with, I think our 3 new signings have definitely made us a lot stronger. So without further ado, let's simulate forward straight through to the end of the first season of the rest of the World League. It's going to be difficult, but I'd love to qualify for Europe in season 1. So we have arrived at the end of season number 1. The first ever league season of the rest of the World League is finished. Where have we finished in the table? Well, we've achieved the 5th place finish on 52 points, which is kind of respectable, I think. Olympiacos would go on to become the first ever champions, meaning they have secured Champions League football. I don't think Fifa is going to secure any European football for us, so there's definitely a lot of work to be done in the off-season to get us ready for season 2. And this season was the first ever rest of the World League Cup. Who were the first ever winners? We won the first ever rest of the World League Cup. We beat Olympiacos 1-0 in the final. Now, I don't know what this means, boys. Have we qualified for Europe? I don't know. We'll only find out in season number 2. Our team, however, looking really strong. Plenty of growth all across the pitch. We have put an 18-year-old out at right midfield in Mikic. Hopefully he's going to grow. I think in season number 2 we definitely need to bring a centre-back to the football club. I have got one in mind. Play career mode. You'll know who he is. Just think young, high potential Croatian centre-back. Hopefully we've got enough money to sign him. I'd also like to bring a left midfielder into the club if possible, but I'm not too sure how much money we're going to have. My eyes are firmly set on signing one player as of right now. So in terms of stats, Igor Matanovic was fantastic. He got 15 goals and 2 assists, and Petkovic had a good season as well. A little bit disappointed with Martin Bacciarino only getting 10 goals and 7 assists despite being 83 rated. Hopefully his output in front of goal will only improve in season number 2. Speaking of season 2, the board have done us dirty. They've only given us 10 million euros, so my star signing that I'm desperate to make might not be able to be pulled off. And I'm going to give you one last chance to guess who we're going to be signing. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guessed correctly. Young Croatian centre-back with outstanding potential in FC25. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to guess. If you guessed Luka Vuskovic, give yourself a pat on the back. We can bring him Zagreb in this transfer window. He's 18 years old, 73 rated. Not even going to cost that much, lads, as his contract is expiring at the end of the season. Anywhere from 6 to 5 million. I'm not too sure if Hadj Split are a rival to Dinamo Zagreb. If they are, we're stealing one of the best young players. He's going to be an amazing player for us throughout this rebuild. And Vuskovic is signed, sealed and delivered for as little as 6.2 million euros. Come on, lads, I couldn't rebuild a Croatian side and not sign him, but we are definitely feeling it in our bank account right now. We've only got 3 million euros left. We're going to try and sell a few players because I want to make at least one more signing. Now, last season we sent our youth scouts to Croatia and the trip wasn't really fruitful. I've got a few young players here who could be really good first team players, but Ismail Aguirre is 58 rated and 16-year-old. He's got 91 to 94 potential. I think he's Peruvian. He's getting promoted to the first team and getting sent out on loan. Don't be surprised to see him in our starting 11 in a future season. However, once again this season we are sending our youth scouts out, and we are going with Mosley Daisy's comment. We are sending a scout off to Estonia this season, where I want to look for central midfielders, wingers once again, and strikers. And if you are enjoying the content so far and you do want to see more rebuilds in FC25, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as it really does help me out. And lads, remember when we signed Vuskovic and I said I don't know if Hadj Split and Dinamo Zagreb are rivals? Well, I've just done a little bit of research. Turns out it's only one of the biggest rivalries in Croatian football. So is it a good thing or a bad thing that we've stole one of the best young players in this rebuild? You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. So boys, we have been busy in the transfer market. As you can see, we have sold 5 first team players. Any of these are fan favourites at Zagreb. I do apologise. They're all aging or fullbacks, and we won't be using them in this rebuild. We now have a very healthy transfer budget of 18 million euros, meaning we can bring in a left midfielder in this transfer window, and we have identified a left midfielder we want to bring to Zagreb in this transfer window. He's currently playing over in Portugal. Ismail Garbi of Braga is 21 years old and 75 rated. He looks like an amazing player, and we're only going to be paying anywhere from 10 to 13 million for him. I think he would be an outstanding sign, someone to really build the team around. And we've got our man boys, Garbi signs for 11 million euros. Can't lie, I think we've made 2 outstanding signings in this transfer window. 2 young players there who are going to be with us all the way to the end of the rebuild. I'm absolutely sure of it. Now, we have still got 5 million euros in the bank, but I don't think that's going to be enough to sign another player, and I also need to bring some coaches in this transfer window, which will use up some money. I'm going to call our transfer window done in terms of incomings. We may still have some players going out on loan. I'm not too sure just yet. But in the meantime, our starting 11 is locked in for season number number 2 in the rest of the World League. This team's looking much better than it did at the start of last season. Other than Petkovic at 30-year-old, the average age of this squad is like 22 years old, so much potential on that pitch at the minute. Hopefully this season we can sneak into the European places. And speaking of the European places, as we've won the rest of the World League Cup, we are actually in the Europa League this season. That's going to bring more money into the club, and if we can progress through the league phase, I'll be really happy. But to be honest with you boys, I think our work is done in the season 2 transfer window. We're now going to be simulating forward straight through to the end of the season, and I'm really intrigued to see how we get on this season. So season 2 is completed, lads, and we've had a great season. We've finished second in the league, only 3 points behind eventual winners Olympiacos, on 76 points, massively clear of the rest of the league, and I think this means we have qualified for the Champions League in season 3, which I'm hoping is going to give us a big boost to our finances. We can set our sights on actually winning the rest of the World League in season number 3. Now, we would make our second rest of the World League Cup final. This time, though, we lost to Ferencvaros 1-0 in the final, but I will take back-to-back cup finals in consecutive seasons. That is some going. But the less said about the Europa League, the better. Knocked out in the league phase, only won 2 games, just bringing us back down to earth a bit. Still quite a bit of work to do in this rebuild. But I have to say, we have built a really solid team in just 2 seasons as Dinamo Zagreb boss. Now, the obvious weak link of the team is Mikic on the right wing. However, he's only 19 years old and 72 rated, which is actually pretty impressive, so we're going to give him another season to grow in season number 3. Now, we have to make Yasin Ayari's loan into a permanent deal in season number 3, which we will be doing. He is going to cost us 8 million euros, which could use up all of our transfer budget. If that is the case, we are going to focus on improving our bench in season number 3. But as of right now, all our transfer activity is just dependent on how much money the board decides to give us. But back to the positives, and Bruno Petkovic had a fantastic season, getting 24 goals and 7 assists. Matanovic was good as well. He got 20 goals and 6 assists, and it's great to see Martin Baturina finally starting to show why he's one of the best players in the league. 18 goals and 10 assists. He's also 87 rated. He's going to be a huge player for us throughout the rest of this rebuild. Now, lads, we did have £10 million sitting in our bank account, and I thought I'll just try it off camera. Can we make Yasin Ayari's deal permanent? We actually managed to do so, boys. He is now officially a Dinamo Zagreb player for the next 6 years. He's on 50 grand a week. He's by far our highest paid player. This is going to save us quite a bit of money in season 3. Now, we are in season 3, and wow, you need to see this transfer budget. Only 8 million euros sit in our bank account. Honestly, boys, we cannot make the team better with this money. Don't even think we can make a permanent signing with this money. The only thing I can really do this season is have a look on the free agents list to bring players in who can make our bench better. That's literally all I can do. So, lads, you know when you get a bad budget in FC25 and you're just praying that the free agents list is stacked full of talent? This season, it were atrocious, but we have managed to make 2 new signings. Abdelakar Kadri is a 26-year-old, 76 rated attack-focused central midfielder who'll be a great backup to our 2 current central midfielders. He'll be a decent option off the bench going forward. I've also found a decent backup striker, Lassina Traore, 25-year-old, 75 rated. No, it's not the Lassina Traore who is 6'7", by the way. Both these signings are nothing special, let's be honest. Now, after bringing those 2 players in, 3 players would leave the club on permanent deals, raising us around 5 million euros. But we would then loan out so many youngsters, and we need all these loans to go really well, because these young players are the future of our football club if the board aren't going to give us competitive budgets. And speaking of youth players, once again this season we're sending our youth scouts out. We're going to go back to Croatia though, looking for centre backs. This is where I feel like we're lacking throughout the squad. So unfortunately, heading into season number 3, there's no change to our starting 11. This starting 11 is now locked in for the new season. We do have 380 rated players. I'm hoping players like Torrente, Ayari, Mantanovic can all reach 80 rated as well this season. That'll be a big help for us. Signings of Kadri and Traore definitely make our bench a bit stronger. We have got options now heading into the Champions League. My goals for this season would literally just be to qualify for the Champions League once again and try to get through the league phase if we can. But with that being said, I don't think there's much more we can do this season but simulate forward straight through to the end. And if we have a poor season, it's clearly not my fault. It's the board's. So we have arrived at the end of season number 3, lads. Can somebody give me a drum roll, please? Because we have won our first ever Rest of the World League title, and we have done it convincingly as well. 18 points clear at the top of the league. What a season for Dinamo Zagreb. And we are piling up the trophies in this rebuild, because we've only made our 3rd consecutive Rest of the World League Cup final, and we've won our 2nd one, beating Olympiacos 1-0 in the final, completing, can we call it a domestic double? Because all the teams are in different countries. We can't, can we? We've completed a double. Let's see how we got on in the Champions League. And in the Champions League, we made the playoff round. We got Bayer Leverkusen, which was a really tough draw, and they beat us 7-3 over 2 legs. While we're really solid against the rest of the world sides, we are not playing the best in Europe. We really need the board to start backing us in the summer. We need some more signings. But I have to say, given the limited funds that we've had, this team is already looking like an absolutely quality team on paper. Bacciarina's 89 rated and one of the best players in the world. We've got plenty of players who are mid-80s. This team's actually really strong. Only 3 players in the starting 11 below 80 rated. If I had it my way in the summer, I would be bringing in a new centre-back and striker. But I just know for a fact we're not going to get that much money. I'm hopeful we can at least replace one of Galatsic or Petkovic in Season 4. Now, in terms of stats, Igor Matanovic was outstanding this season. He got 37 goals and 5 assists, and he won the Player of the Year award. Petkovic had a brilliant season, but he's 32-year-old and 78 rated and will start declining soon. He needs replacing. So we've arrived in Season 4, lads, and oh my god. We've only got 18 million euros in our bank account. Now, there are a few players that I do actually want to sell in this transfer window. I'm thinking, do we sell some players and bring in like 76, 77 rated high potential youngsters, because none of our youth players are ready to play yet. I'm not too sure what to do. Leave it with me. We're going to attack the transfer window, see what we can come up with. Hopefully, we can make the most of the funds that we've got. But lads, one of our youth team players are back from their loan and they are ready for first team football. Ismail Aguirre, you may remember he had insane potential. He's back from his loan. 75 rated and 18-year-old, has potential to be special. I'm sorry, Mikic, you've been a great servant to the club. You're down to the bench. Aguirre is going to be starting for us from now on. This guy is the future of our club. So lads, we are kicking off our transfer window with a lot of outgoings. As you can see, we have sold a lot of rotation players and we have raised around 17 million euros to bring some new players in. We have also sent out a young player on loan for 2 seasons, and we now sit on 36 million euros. I think we can make a signing. I've got one player in mind. I just hope I can make the deal happen. So lads, we have been able to make a signing finally who improves our starting 11, and we have brought Franjo Ivanovic to the club from Lecce for 32 million euros. He's 23 years old, 80 rated, plays up front, and he's got amazing stats. He is the perfect strike partner to Matanovic, perfect replacement for Petkovic, and I'm really hopeful our dynamic front three of Ivanovic, Matanovic and Bacciarina can carry us to even more trophies in this rebuild. Really nice to see how many Croatian players we've got in this team, by the way. 6 Croatian players in our starting 11, which we love to see. Now, we've only got 1 million euros left in the bank, which probably means, boys, we can't do any scouting this season, which is a real shame. Which probably means our transfer window is done, boys, and our starting 11 locked in for season number 4. Can't lie, I'm so excited to see how we get on this season. I can't wait any longer. We're simulating forward straight through to the end of the season. I'm expecting big things from this Dinamo Zagreb team. So we have arrived at the end of the season, lads, and obviously we have won the rest of the World League once again. I'm a little bit concerned that this league might have been a little bit too easy to dominate. Finished on 85 points, which is actually 23 points clear of second place for Enteros. Yeah, this has been a little bit too easy, especially in the league phase area. But the biggest shock of this rebuild to date has happened. We have actually not reached the rest of the World League Cup final, and Al Ain FC have actually gone on to win it. But lads, somehow we have actually made the Champions League final, and we're actually taking on AC Milan. We finished 4th in the league phase on 19 points, winning 6 of our games, drawing 1 and losing 1, which means we went straight into the round of 16, took on Inter Milan and beat them 5-2 over 2 legs, which is a really convincing win. We would then go into the quarterfinals and beat RB Leipzig 5-1 over 2 legs. That's a really favourable draw, to be honest. And in the quarterfinals, it looked like we played an absolute thriller against Bayern Munich, 4-3 winners over 2 legs to set up a final with AC Milan. I'm intrigued to see how this team is going to be looking, because I thought we would have needed at least a few more seasons before we got to the final. On initial inspection, that's actually a really strong team. We have actually got 2 players in the team who aren't 80 rated, which I don't think we've ever done before on this channel. I think we've always had a full 80 rated team in the Champions League final. Our first ever rest of the World League rebuild, our first ever created league. This is a rebuild for firsts. The rest of the team is actually looking really strong, full of world-class players. We've also got a strong bench as well, loads of options. This squad's actually pretty good. It's just the fact that we've got 2 players in the starting 11 who aren't 80 rated. So beating Milan might actually be difficult, so the rebuild might not be over yet. Now, in terms of stats, Igor Matanovic was absolutely insane. He got 31 goals and 7 assists, but our best player this season was Martin Bacciarina, who got 26 goals and 14 assists. He has also also grown to 91 rated. Ivanovic and Sucic scored quite a few goals as well. They've actually been really impressive this season, and we deservedly have reached the Champions League final. Just need to beat AC Milan to complete the rebuild. So here we go, boys. It's Champions League final time at the Estadio Metropolitano. I can't lie, I am a little bit nervous for this one. Looking at the AC Milan team, they have got a very strong team on paper, but they do have someone who is not 80 rated. It's probably just stronger than ours on paper. So we are probably the underdogs heading into this final. I think the first goal is definitely going to be key. Garbi. That's it. What a ball by Garbi. Ivanovic is in.
Nope.
Oh, what a chance. Oh my god, oh my god, Ivanovic, you had to score. You had to score. Foot in. Oh, good save by Kotarski. I can't lie, lads, this is definitely not a classic. Oh! Wow, what a terrible header that were. I think that were Vuskovic. Literally set Pulisic up to score. Milan definitely having the better of the chances. Oh, they're going to score. What a save. Denied. What a block as well. Oh my god. How are we not losing? Lads, we are so lucky to be going in at half time at 0-0. Oh, could we have another chance? Ayara. Up to Aguirre, who's rapid, by the way. Oh my god, imagine if we score here. We've got to score. Oh, come on. Get in there, Ivanovic makes up for his earlier miss and completely against the run of play. It has to be said. It's 1-0 to Dinamo Zagreb. I can't believe we are winning this game after all the chances we've given away. 1-0 up with pretty much the first half done. And that's going to be half time, boys. I have to be completely honest here. Milan should be like 3-0 up. Our keeper's made some amazing saves though, and we've took one of our only chances of the game, and we are somehow 1-0 up. Look at that football though. Oh my god. Oh. Brazil. Oh my god. I don't even need to speak. Tell you something. It's not often I'm left speechless on this channel. That was just unbelievable. 2-0 up, boys. Come on. 2-0 up. In a game where we've been absolutely battered. And that, we'll take that all day. We will take that all day. Lads, I'm not even joking now. We're at 75 minutes into this game. And despite all the chances Milan had in the first half, they've created nothing in this second half. Nothing's really happened since the second goal, to be honest. Lads, we are now into added time. 1 minute to play. The game's done. And there is the full-time whistle, lads. We've won the Champions League with Dinamo Zagreb. Created our own league in the process, which I can't lie, we've absolutely dominated. In the first 40 minutes of this game, I can't lie, Milan were all over us. They had all the chances, but as soon as we got that first goal, the tie's just gone in our favour. We've scored one of the best goals we've ever scored on the channel for the second goal. And now all that is left to do, boys, is lift the Champions League trophy. Martin Bacciarino will do the honours, and Dinamo Zagreb are the champions of Europe. We've dominated the rest of the World League, and that is another rebuild successfully boxed off. So just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It does really help me out now on the journey to 10,000 subscribers. And let me know in the comment section below if you want to see more videos like this where we make random leagues. And I will see you next week when we head back over to the Norwegian League.